The orb of empathy. In the heart of a land untouched by time, there lay a forest unlike any other empathy's forest, where the winds carried ancient songs, and the trees themselves seemed to breathe with gentle light. The rivers glowed faintly under the moon, and creatures of myth wandered freely, unseen by most but dearly loved by those who knew how to look. Among them lived a humble villager named Ilara. Her cottage, draped in ivy and morning glories, sat at the forest's edge, where she tended a vibrant garden and shared warm stories with the woodland spirits. Ilara's days were simple yet rich. Every sunrise was a gift, every sunset a prayer of gratitude. To her, happiness was not something to seek. It bloomed naturally, nurtured by kindness and patience. One mist-laden morning, with the scent of rain still clinging to the earth, Ilara ventured deeper into the forest than she ever had before. Drawn by an unseen pull, she wandered through ancient groves and past whispering streams, until she found herself standing before a clearing, bathed in a strange, shimmering light. There, cradled between the roots of a colossal oak, floated an orb. It pulsed with shifting colors, hues she had no name for, and emitted a soft hum that seemed to resonate with her heartbeat. Entranced, Ilara stepped closer. As her fingers brushed its surface, a voice, warm and distant, echoed within her mind. "You have found your wish." Startled, Ilara recoiled, but curiosity soon overcame fear. Was it true? Was she being offered one true wish? Her heart raced as 1,000 desires flooded her mind. Her wealth, fame, adventure? Yet none of these felt right. Sitting quietly among the wildflowers, she closed her eyes and listened to her heart. What she wanted most was simple. For those she loved to know joy, to live without fear or hunger, to see her village thrive, to see her friends smile freely, forever. With a trembling voice and a hopeful heart, Ilara spoke. "I wish for the prosperity and happiness of all those I love." The orb flared brilliantly, and a wave of warmth surged through her. As she rushed back to the village, she gasped in wonder. The transformation was breathtaking. The once modest cottages now gleamed with life. Gardens overflowed with food and flowers. Laughter and music filled the air. Her neighbors, once weary and burdened, danced and sang with unbridled joy. Ilara's heart soared. Her wish had come true. But as the days passed, something strange began to unfold. Empathy's forest, once a tapestry of life, started to wither. The luminous rivers dimmed. The songs of birds grew silent. The magical creatures who had once been her companions vanished, one by one. The ancient oak where the orb had rested stood blackened and cracked, as if mourning. Ilara's joy turned to dread. In giving so much to the village, had she taken too much from the forest? One evening, as she knelt by a dry, crumbling stream, tears slipping down her cheeks, a figure appeared before her, radiant and sorrowful. Draped in robes woven from starlight and mist, the enchantress Isra, guardian of empathy's forest, gazed upon Ilara with eyes both kind and piercing. Ilara looked up as Isra spoke. "Ilara, the orb is a vessel of immense power, but every gift bears a price. In wishing for the prosperity of your loved ones, you unknowingly unbalanced the harmony of this place. Magic, once freely flowing, has been drained to fulfill mortal desires." Ilara bowed her head in shame. She had not intended harm, yet her ignorance had caused ruin. She whispered, "What must I do?" Isra extended her hand, and the orb floated once more between them, its light now dim and faltering. "You have a choice. Isra said. Keep the orb and enjoy the riches it grants, but the forest and its wonders will vanish forever. Or return the orb, restoring balance, and let go of the instant happiness you sought. The choice weighed heavy on Ilara's soul. She thought of her friends' laughter, their bright new lives, but also the silence that had fallen over the woods, the emptiness where magic once dwelled. With trembling hands and tearful eyes, Ilara reached out and returned the orb to Isra. The moment her fingers let go, a gentle breeze stirred the leaves. A soft light spread outward, washing over the land. Slowly, the rivers began to glimmer once more. The trees straightened, and the first tentative notes of birdsong returned to the air. The villagers, too, noticed the change. Their newfound riches softened, but what remained was real. Laughter born not of magic, but of community. Gardens flourishing through their own tender care. Isra smiled, her form already beginning to fade like mist at dawn. She said, "For your compassion and wisdom, I grant you a different gift. The strength to heal and the wisdom to guide." From that day on, Ilara lived as a healer and a teacher. Her hands mended both wounds and broken spirits. She taught her people to seek joy, not from sudden miracles, but through empathy, patience, and love. Her cottage once again became a place of gathering, where young and old came not to ask for magic, but to learn the true magic that lived within themselves. And so, empathy's forest flourished, not because it was untouched, but because those who lived near it understood its worth. And Ilara's story, the tale of a wish, a mistake, and a choice, lived on, whispered by the winds and sung by the rivers, a reminder that true happiness is not granted by power alone, but earned through the choices we make and the hearts we cherish.